This is the BellaVerde DaVinci Resolve for DaVinci Resolve. That's pretty much it. This build is designed around the Intel 9900K over there. We have an EVGA 2080 Ti video card. We have the Gigabyte Z390 DESIGNARE motherboard up front and center. We have two NVMe SSDs. One is a 500 gig model, the other is a 1 terabyte. We have a mess ton of Noctua fans. Most of them are over there. This is the Fractal Design Define XLR2 in Black Pearl. We have a Be Quiet Dark Rock 4 Pro, Dark Rock Pro 4. We have a 1000 watt gold power supply and 64 gigs of Vengeance RAM. I think I got it. Oh, and the really fun part, we have 8 WD Black 2 terabyte hard drives with a RAID card. So now I'm going to get out of the case. But
wait, no one could see your face in that, by the
way.
No, it's like pitch black.
Oh, dang.
So
the super fun part about this stream finally is we have a top cam.
And on top of that, we have a lot of audio issues.
God.
But we figured that out. That was our bad. This is the second stream with our new audio setup, and me being the dumb forgot to actually power on the audio DAC, which is a bit rough. So hopefully we have audio. That's why we check it, which is awesome. But normally we have someone behind the stream checking it for us.
Normally I'm doing the sound check.
Yeah, normally Chris is doing the sound check, which I think he's also doing now, just as a help of checking. So again, we do apologize for the little bit of a rough start for this.
Whoops.
Yeah, a little bit of a whoops. So as we were also saying, is today was business casual day. So we're all kind of a little bit dressed up for this, and yeah. So also we do apologize if the audio levels are a little bit quiet. They may be. I honestly don't know. I kind of threw it up on a profile that we have and try to louden everything a little bit, and so we shall see. But we're going to continue on and move on to this build because Chris has done an awesome job already kind of explaining what it is, and I'm sure, as Chris already mentioned, with the enormous amount of hard drives that are here, which we actually already pre-installed. All of them are all right here, which is awesome. So we're going to shift the case over. Chris is going to work on that. We're actually going to switch over to the top cam for the first time and do the motherboard.
Boom. You should be seeing the top camera now.
So you want to toss me the motherboard when you get a sec? Appreciate it.
Get the case out of the way. Oh my god.
Which is quite heavy.
Whew.
Especially with the multiple hard drives.
Now, I am not a particularly strong person, but I'm not that weak either. This is a pretty heavy case.
And we may have some autofocusing issues just because since we don't have anyone behind the stream, we can't really manually focus it like via software and things to that effect. So we're sorry if there's any weird autofocusing. I'm actually gonna go try to set it at an autofocus point, or excuse me, a manual focus point. I see it. It's kind of shuddering in and out. So now our top cam should actually be locked at a steady focus. So if it's a little bit out of focus, we apologize.
Drop a comment. Tell us that it's wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do this on the fly because our camera is across our computer's across the room from us right now. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but we're making it work for you guys. So do we actually need any SATA data cables then?
We need 8. Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
No, we don't.
Perfect.
Ha!
So, hopefully this actually looks pretty decent. We were pretty excited about doing top cam, but we neglected the audio. It was my bad. This is the DESIGNARE. And as Chris said, we are dropping in NVMe SSDs. So we have a 1 terabyte and a 512 gig. So I'm going to install the 1 terabyte in the top drive and the 512 in the bottom one. I'm hoping it actually looked pretty decent. The contrast was an issue and is probably going to be an ongoing issue. We have a quite white table that's very reflective with a lot of lights around, and computer hardware tends to be either shiny or black. There's usually no in between.
It's either matte or shiny.
Yeah, so contrast may be an issue, so we apologize, stick with us, and we'll kind of work it out. Fortunately, this stream is not going to be that one that we work it out on.
If you know of a way to help this, please tell us.
Well, I know how to do it. It's just a matter of it's trial and error of sitting down and futzing with some settings and things. We just didn't have time to do that.
Oh.
Because Phil decided to not show up today. Mind you, this was very impromptu. It's kind of decided this morning that this stream was going to be today.
No, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday, excuse me.
Yesterday.
Normally we like to give a little bit longer notice. But this build was a little bit special because kind of requested to.
Gotta get it out.
Gotta get it out, yep. I wonder if Edward's going to join this one. I really want to see what he says about
With audio?
top cam. No, about us now having a top cam. If you guys can't tell, I'm actually very, very happy that we now have a top cam. It's freaking awesome. So, there was one piece of hardware that Chris kind of breezed over that he may want to go into a little bit more in depth on, which I actually had to learn this morning, or this afternoon, excuse me, when we were doing it, was in this build we have 8 hard drives and 2 M.2s, which there is not 8 SATA ports on this motherboard.
Well, even if there were,
Yeah,
you
wouldn't have enough lanes.
lanes, but so the M2 SSDs eat up 1 or 2 SATA ports. So you have to make sure that you have enough SATA ports to do what you want to do. And when you have 8 hard drives and you're running in RAID, you might want to get a RAID card.
Yep, which is this little thing right here. It's weird to not hold it up in front of the camera. It's weird to hold it up here because we're now on top cam.
Yeah.
And what that is basically it's a squid. Is all it is. It basically breaks out from this cable port right back here into 8, right? Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
SATA data cables.
Yep.
Where did I already lost my knife.
It's over here. I have it.
You stole my knife.
I have it.
That is workplace bullying.
I had to get it.
No, I have
Talk to HR.
Yeah. Hey, HR.
Oh wait, I have HR.
Do we have another build coming up? When's the next build?
Black Falcon is soon. Black Falcon is
Soon TM.
Off camera. It's not all the way arrived yet.
So soon we'll have a soon date.
And then we have visual content creator.
Interesting name.
That is an X570 build.
Ooh.
With a 3700X, 3800X.
Interesting.
So,
Honestly, thought that was one of your generic names that you put on like the website of like, hey, here is
no,
a.
he wanted to call it that.
Sure, go
I'm like,
for it. That's
"Oh,
awesome.
Okay. I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah.
Um,
You're at Top Flight. We let you name your computer, unless
unless it's
within reason.
not safe for work.
Yes, we've come close on a few of those. So I've just installed both our M.2s, which is awesome. This is
Let's see the pen.
standing up. Maybe you guys can see that. Hopefully, I don't know. We shall see. We're gonna be dynamic. Chris, hit cam 1, so we can be dynamic, and you
Now
can
you can see me.
kind of see.
You might see me.
Oh gosh.
What?
I adjusted the audio on cam 1, but I didn't adjust the audio on cam 2. So you're going to be very quiet on cam 2.
Well, it's quiet right now.
Yeah. Give me one second.
Okay.
I gotta adjust that. Oops. Well, no, there's 2 different audio levels. So when we switch over to the other camera.
Wonderful. Oh, look, I'm all the way in frame.
Yeah. You won't be for long. Wow, it did adjust it. OBS is smart. That actually makes me really happy.
That was fast. I like my screwdriver.
So Chris got a new screwdriver. He's quite ecstatic
It's a dual drive.
about his new screwdriver. Probably sounds very interesting on stream.
And it was going to cost me $15.
Not bad. Tools are relatively cheap. Especially if you go to Home Depot or like Lowe's and go to the like Forgot Dad's Birthday section, which is that like $20 and under section that they always have like directly next to the.
That's not where I went.
I know, I'm just saying. That's also another great place to get like really good tools for cheap. Don't actually. The issue is I don't really know which camera we're on. So, how's cam 1 for me?
We're on cam 1.
Or 2.
Yeah, we don't really know until there's the lag.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag, which we can't really get it below like a 20-second lag period, which is not terrible, but the issue for us is we kind of find ourselves just staring at the screen to see if it actually kicked over or not.
I think we can decrease the latency. It reduces the image quality.
It makes sense.
So.
And our 9900K, it's slotted right on in. Little shield pops off. This is an angle that you guys probably haven't seen before. At least from us, it definitely isn't.
No, never
Which is
had
cool.
this before. I like it.
Pioneering. Awesome. RAM. Chris is hiding the RAM over here.
Bah.
What?
Ran.
Oh.
Bah.
I was like thoroughly confused. Terrible jokes.
Because now that I'm here, all the dad jokes are gonna come out.
Whoops. I'm just flinging RAM everywhere. One thing I do, the Vengeance LPX looks really good, but they always have like one peely thingy in front of it on the Vengeance here, and it's kind of frustrating. We actually can get really good peels now too.
I guess I can just use the screws that came with the yeah. Technically, the Noctua fans came with screws, but I don't think we really need to use
You don't
those.
need them, yeah. Fan screws are basically just fan screws. I'll only change them out if like color doesn't match. I like sticking with the stock ones that come with the case because usually they're the same color.
Mhm.
But sometimes we'll change them depending on like you know, screw color, if they're stripped, or, you know, materials.
Huh.
What's that?
I put it in the wrong spot.
Rip. And the last little PLE dual makey.
That's a great word.
That's what they're called. That is the exact technical name. If you go into the engineering documents and the patent, it says that's exactly how it is pronounced. So that looks really good. Now,
It does.
so I'm going to take out the CPU cooler. This is one that we installed last week. And by last week, I mean like 3 days ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. So I am getting the mounting bracket out. Then we're going to have that same argument about how I can't mount this CPU cooler how I want it.
Okay. I don't know why you want to put it where.
It was the way that I had the brackets. I forgot that it was a square mount. Oops. Kind of cool, the multi-tiered leveling that we have here. Like Chris is working up here, I'm working down here.
Yeah, I like it.
It's kind of interesting.
I am happy with the way that stream is going. Come a long way since my phone.
Yes, we have. And it is wonderful. If you have not seen that, just, I think there's a post as of recent, but it was rough. Like, we used to shoot these on Chris's not iPhone, gosh, on Chris's,
Pixel 2.
no, it was before you had the Pixel, when we started it. We started with your Samsung.
Oh.
So Chris's old phone,
Which I guess works.
it worked, but it was shot vertical, and it was shot in Chris's apartment, which had about 20,000 square feet less than what we needed. No, it had a it was
a lot less.
It was small. It was about basically the entire room was basically from where the camera is to that wall,
Yeah, it's pretty small.
and that was the entire room, and that had bookshelves and computer desks and, you know, all that jazz. So
It's tight.
it was tight,
Right.
and the AC bill was skyrocketing.
I need 2 more.
It was unbelievably toasty in that room because the lights that we were using, actually still are now, but we can get away with them, are toasty. What's up? What?
No, we're just all on top.
Yeah. I know. It's all good.
Oh, I already had a fan out.
Yeah.
Woo.
Now I'm just installing the standoffs for the CPU cooler. That's what the CPU is actually, or excuse me, the CPU cooler, not the CPU. CPU cooler, and it's going to mount to. So I had to put on a little bit of a backplate, some screws that went through, and then put on some basically long nuts. And I'm going to put these on. What the mistake that Chris was talking about, what I did last week is, or excuse me, on Friday, is I installed the brackets this way, which in doing so, the CPU cooler could only sit vertically like this, and the fan's pointing up that way, but we typically don't like that. So we're going to switch those to being on the inside like this, so the fan will point that way. And it'll look a lot better, in our opinion. The Be Quiet will also be facing the correct direction. Chris is just hovering.
Ow.
What happened?
I got some arm hair stuck in my watch.
Oh gosh.
That was painful.
And what watch is that, Chris? Hashtag it not sponsored, but can be, whatever your watch
It
manufacturer
is
is.
a watch from Original Grain that my girlfriend bought me for Christmas.
There you go. Original Grain, hit us up. I'm personally more of a smartwatch kind of person, so I have a Skagen smartwatch.
But if my watch talks to me, it's gonna get punched.
Mine does. It has Google built into it, so it's really funny though. In my car, I always use the summoning feature. I'm not going to say it because my phone's right there and it's going to start yelling at us. But I always use it to like talk to it. And my watch and my phone start competing for which Google is better. So it'll start being like my watch will respond to me, and then my phone will respond to me, and then both of them respond to me, and it just gets, ooh, it's rough. So I have to mute my watch. I know, that's like the first world problem.
Uber first world problem.
100% first world problems right there. Also, if you guys have any ideas of how to improve the stream, please let us know. If you're watching this in the future and you're hitting this, please still comment, or if you want a faster response, you can message the Facebook Top Flight Computers, and it goes to Chris, or someone else monitoring, but usually Chris. He's installing the Chromax fans, which are Noctua's new fans, which actually look really good because they're not ugly brown.
They're about a year old, I guess. Noctua came out with these some time ago.
They're newer, all right?
Not as new as the
LTT ones.
as the Chromax NHD15.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Linus' version of it.
No, it's the all black NHD15.
Yeah,
They
it was released by Linus.
Oh.
It was an LTT special edition.
Oh.
So if you buy one right now, it comes as an LTT special edition one. And it comes with like the orange fan clippy-do thingies. Dampers, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to throw this back in here actually so I don't lose it, because I'm going to need this when we install the CPU cooler itself, which we'll do later once we get everything all in the case. We do that just, if you guys have not seen before, cable management is very fun, especially when you're trying to hit these cables up here and things to that effect. So Chris, I have a question.
Okay.
There is a 8-pin and a 4-pin up here. There's also a 6-pin on the side right here. Do we need to power
Extra
that?
PCI.
If we're not doing that for
No,
the... Okay.
it's for extra PCI power.
I figured it was, but I wanted to ask. So on this motherboard, it has the normal 24-pin here, our 4 and 8 right here, and then on this side here is a 6-pin. Which is kind of interesting. The I/O on this board is also awesome. It has colors of USBs that I don't even knew existed.
It also supports a 4x32 kit of RAM.
Yeah, I can imagine. But no, it has red, which is 3.1. It has yellow, which is USB 3.0 DAC up, whatever that means. And it's got normal blue. So red, yellow, blue.
Right.
So I am good on the motherboard.
Did we get the front fans in? No,
Not yet. I still have the little bracket doohickey right here. So can you start screwing fans onto this thing then?
They don't screw in, they just pop in.
Oh. Alright. Well, let's see that. Now I'm actually curious. So, impromptu unboxing. This is the Chromax fans.
Cam 1.
What?
Cam 1.
You're on cam 1?
I will go to Cam 1.
Oh, why?
That'll
just
get
gonna say-
better.
Well, no, it's farther away. I'll start doing these.
Well, I've already put it to Cam 1.
Yeah, I can tell. Because you said cam 1 and then click the button. So what they do is they come with these little nubbins, which clip in right there, and you can change colors of everything. And then they have all of them underneath here. Alright, continue on. How does this work? Switch back to top cam. Be dynamic. We have multiple sources.
Now they can't see what I'm doing here. Well, they couldn't see what I was doing here anyway.
But you said this just...
Well, it clicks in with the fractal fans. We'll have to screw them in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured we had to screw them in. I was like, huh, this is interesting.
Go in.
So what's also cool about the Noctua Chromaxes is Top can, yeah. They're actually removable, or the little cable is removable, so you can slot in, kind of easily cable manage. And that to Chris. So as Chris is finishing that up, do you want to hand me the power supply? Is it?
Where did the nubs go? You
Oh, they're over
Would you
there.
put
Sorry. Moved the nubs. Gonna set that aside for now. This is our power supply, which is our EVGA 1000 G3. Awesome power supply, never had an issue with it. Still haven't had an issue with it with all of our belts and things.
I generally really like the EVGA power supplies.
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk, you need to talk that direction. You need to project out.
I know. That was just.
Yeah, but it comes off as like weird because when you hear it on there, that's what it sounds like. It's kind of cool to get the top cam. You can see a different perspective on things. You kind of see what unboxing these kind of hardware is like, because for some people they don't really have access to this kind of high-end hardware and at this frequency.
Yeah.
You know, of being able to kind of see it and interact with it and see what it looks like. So it's kind of cool. So they always include like one of these, which is a 24-pin jumper cable. So your power supply will not turn on if it doesn't detect a signal in the 24-pin. So what this does is inside of there is just you got a little jumper that kind of tricks the power supply into thinking that it's on, even though it, or kind of tricks that it's plugged in, excuse me, so it can turn on. So we're going to need motherboard, we're going to need one CPU, we're going to need two CPU, we're going to need multitude of SATA data, or excuse me, SATA power. These only have 3.
SATA powers are in the foam cover bag.
Oh gosh, you have it all the way over there.
It's a 2-pack. I didn't realize you were gonna get there right now.
So, with the amount of SATA power that is needed, we actually got an adapter. So instead of having 3, this cable has 4. Which is interesting. So it works just like that. Kind of cool. I'm going to unplug that for now. I'm going to rotate the case for a quick sec. Just toss these on.
I need one more fan.
I believe that there is one more fan over there.
Two.
I believe there's 2 more fans over there. Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Little. So we'll show it to you guys here in a little bit. It's a multi-pack. It says do not separate, even though we're separating it in the computer. I could not do that again and I've tried, and that's not even on stream, and that's upsetting. I threw the bag up and it landed inside of the CPU cooler box. There it is. You'll see it here one quick sec. Well, future us will be able to see it. And it lands perfectly in the CPU cooler box. It's kind of cool. So those are plugged in. And our 2080 Ti, we should know this by now. It takes dual 8s, right? Yeah. We've done this a few times. That's a single 8.
If it takes an 8 and a 6, then that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also true. So I should be able to just do that cable, and then we should actually be good to go. Am I missing any? SATA power, CPU, graphics card, 24 pin. I think that's it. If we need more, they're in the box. One thing we can't really convey on stream is weight. But the weight of these power supplies, especially the high-end ones, like the 1600 watt one was big chunk. That thing was heavy. They're dense, and you can honestly kind of tell like quality by how dense something is. One also cool, quirky kind of thing about this power supply, now you guys can probably see it here, hopefully, is on the fans you can see the EVGA logo is actually imprinted on all of the fan logos all around it, which is kind of cool. I'm honestly looking at the stream to see how that goes. Because we do want to kind of show off these products a little bit and kind of explain what they are. So let's see. You can kind of see it. I was out of frame. Darn it.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. So if you guys are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night. What?
Yeah, night, yeah.
The Monday night live stream of BellaVerde. Oh. That is smart. They prevent you from plugging in that cable. That's actually something I've never seen before. So they actually have this pin and this pin fused together, and then a little cutout in the here, so you can't plug this into the CPU because it's got the same thing. This is the video. Yeah. So I screwed up a little bit, and okay. So if it was too far there, maybe we'll see if this is it. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it here. So I thought I grabbed a CPU because you guys can kind of see a little bit of a difference. But this one has a little extruded piece of plastic, I guess, kind of preventing you from accidentally plugging that one into the CPU. That's why didn't go in. But it'll go into the VGA because that's what kind of cable it is. And CPU 1. Boom. And CPU 2. Shazam. It was awesome. Whoops. Tipped it over. That reflex is, though, the weighted cables are intense, which is saying something. It's actually, the quality of the cables literally can be measured by the weight. SATA 1.
Because the
Here it is. Here it is. Whew. Oh. Yeah, because the gauge of the wiring. Yep. Awesome. So I'm going to rotate the case here. Yeah, well, it's all good. I'm going to rotate it so I can actually do the power supply, which we're going to switch over to cam 1 for. If you want to do that. So you guys can get a better view of it. That's actually a super cool feature of this case. Look at this. So the power supply sits on nubs. And those little nubs are, unfortunately, you can't actually get a really great shot of this, but the nubs are probably a solid 3/4 of an inch up, so the power supply doesn't actually sit flush on the ground.
It's a lot of air.
Yeah, so it doesn't choke itself, which is a big common issue with computers. Is people build a computer, power supply is on the bottom with the fan facing down or sucking air in from the bottom.
Most of our builds are like that, but this case gives you more airspace.
Right, but what I'm saying is that's something that people overlook oftentimes, and they set it on carpet, and then they end up choking their power supply because it can't pull in air because it's being basically pressed up against carpet. try to rotate it so that you still had access to it.
Door. This would be a lot easier if it turned.
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to satisfy both of us so we could kind of get this done. Unfortunately, we're not going to hit the 1 hour mark on this stream, I don't think. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare.
I don't know what time we're at. I'll go check.
You can see it in the, you should be able to
No,
see
I
it.
can't. Oh, 41 minutes ago.
There you go.
So we may hit the hour mark.
No, we won't. We'll definitely go over the hour mark. That's what I'm saying. Normally we've been trying to hit, I say normally, but starting last stream, we've been trying to hit like an hour mark for our streams. This one's going to be a little bit more complicated. It was a little bit more impromptu, so we didn't have a lot of time to kind of prepare things. And we both came from work today. So, all right. Once Chris does that, we're going to lay it down, jump back up to top cam, and we will install the motherboard. And this is definitely a more workstation-esque kind of build rather than a gaming build. So there is a kind of generalized theme, but it kind of breaks that theme when you put in a green PCB'd RAID card. No one makes RGB RAID cards.
No one will ever.
Corsair. Come on. Where is an RGB RAID card? That's what the market really needs right now.
Oh yeah.
Get it in?
Cool. Yep.
Awesome. So we're gonna let's both do this. This is gonna be kind of heavy. All right. And then just lay it on down. It's gonna lay on some cables, but it'll be all right. I got it.
Okay.
There we go. Top cam. Now you guys hopefully can see this case. Maybe you guys can kind of see over here the little bit of a raised bump for that. And then where are the screws for this case? Are those them?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Those are all the case screws.
Ah! Standoffs aren't pre-installed. Top cam. Look at that. So we are now going to be installing the little standoffs into the case because they are not pre-installed. A little bit of a bummer, but it's all good. If I go ahead and put these in, do you want to latch them down with a little tool?
Sure.
And hey, we can actually stand up now because we have top cam, which means we don't have to worry about getting out of frame. Honestly, forget which ones are which. I'm fairly certain it's that one and that one.
Yeah.
Here, hold on, let me get this one in started. There we go. And then these bottom three.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's so much nicer. I'm gonna guess these bottom three are. I've seen enough ATX motherboards in my life. I think that's the right standoff.
Yeah.
Fairly certain, at least. And we shall see if I am correct. Ooh, baby, look at that. Perfection. Right there, all of them lined up. So, And motherboard screws, Chris, if you can grab those. Oops.
See if it's these. No.
Yeah, I don't think these are the right ones. They may be, but see.
No,
They're too thin, right?
Wait. Yeah, no, those aren't.
I figured they're too thin. Yeah, let's try.
Nah.
No. Yep.
These are for SSDs.
Let's try
Those. Pretty sure it's those, yeah.
Sadly, they don't label them. I am fairly certain these are the correct ones. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, bud.
I should do that.
Ah. You can
So
screw in
so
the.
the drive trays don't come out.
So they actually include
In transit.
optional screws to screw in the.
Drive
So
tray.
these are the drive bays are toolless, so you can actually pick them up and out. I'm not going to because there's actually a cable behind it. I just forgot about that. As I was trying to
But we
pull.
don't want these to move around.
Correct. So
in
there's
transit.
actually a little screw hole right here, where you can drop it on in. So actually, I can do this.
Because this big computer is being shipped
Indeed.
a pretty long way.
So I put the cable on each one of these nodes, so you should just be able to lift a brick out of 8 terabytes of storage.
What? No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 8 terabytes. And this is going to be running in RAID 10.
RAID 10 or 10, depending.
Yeah.
It's kind of both ways. So what RAIDs are... Hello. I was talking to the camera straight ahead of us. What RAID is it's basically a way of how to organize hard drives. It's a good way to describe it. Of basically how to organize hard drives in a way that your computer either recognizes them as one or multiple. Actually, no, you're never rating for multiple. You're rating for
You would do it,
backup.
that would be a JBOD.
Yeah. So for RAID is basically taking RAID 1, which is the easiest, I would say.
We'll start
Yeah.
with 0.
Okay, RAID 0, yeah, I guess is technically, you're right, that's probably easier, is basically telling the computer that, hey, here are 8 2 terabyte hard drives, so they treat it as one. So you're going to lose some to some RAID controllers, right?
No, so RAID 0 is...
Or is that backup?
RAID 0 is all speed, and there's no backup, there's no protection.
Correct, so that, and that's,
2 drives acting as one.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
You get double the storage, you have no protection.
Mm-hmm.
RAID 1
Is protections
is kind
backup.
of the opposite. It's 2 drives acting as one, but you only get the capacity of half of it, and the drives have to be the same size.
So, for example, if you're doing RAID 0 on all of these hard drives, in the computer it would come up 16 terabytes,
And you would have the speed boost of...
which you'd lose some naturally.
You would, to overhead.
To some overhead and things like that, which is what I was trying to say. You lose some, so your actual space is probably about 14 terabytes, but it's really fast.
Yeah.
Like, I would argue that it would probably be as fast as like a normal SATA SSD,
Oh, faster.
if not faster. But
Quite a bit
if
faster.
one of those drives fail, you die. You just die. No, not you die. Your computer and all your data
Whole array.
dies. So there are other RAIDs. So there's RAID 0, which is what we just went over, and then RAID 1, which is direct backup. So, for example, we have 8 2 terabyte hard drives. So if we did this one in a RAID, that's screwed into the bottom.
Oh.
There you go. So in this case, we would be able to throw this into RAID 1, and we would have 8 usable terabytes of storage, but we would have exact redundant backup, so we could have, 4 of them fail and still keep data? Yeah. So you would be able to have 4 hard drives fail and all your data would be perfectly fine. But that comes at kind of expensive. So there's kind of a combination of the two, which is RAID 10, 10. You should be good now. There may be another one up front.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Here, can't you just do them here?
There's a screw right there.
But can't you just hit them here?
Yeah.
You should be able to just hit them there. So RAID 10, or RAID 1 and 0 is basically best of both worlds. Sorry, I'm trying to get this now back screwed in.
RAID 10 is great, but it comes at a high cost of drives.
Correct.
You have to have 4.
Yep. Because you have, what it does is it treats 2 as your speed drives, basically. More or less. Combines 2 of them and then mirrors those 2 onto your other 2. So for example, like this system will be running in RAID 10. It has 8 2 terabyte hard drives, but it'll only have 8 terabytes usable?
But yeah, 8 terabytes.
8 terabytes usable. They will be a lot faster, but it'll be redundancy back up. So you wouldn't really have to worry about it. And there are, RAIDs
5,
2,
6,
3, 4, 5.
0, 1, 5, 6, 10, and JBot.
I think there's 3. There is.
There was, but it kind of died.
Well, there is. It's just a matter of how many. It's just a different combination of how many backup drives you want versus not. So, like for example, RAID 5 is you have to have a minimum of 3 drives?
Yes.
And then what it does is it does dual parity. So it kind of uses all 3 of them and stores data over all 3 of them. But if one of them dies, then it kind of rebuilds the RAID onto the other 2. What are you looking for?
The other bag.
I do not know.
Was there another bag of 4
There's
screws?
not.
Well, I'll figure that out. That's another point.
Okay.
That's okay.
So,
So we can put this
as
back
we were
in
here,
there.
yep, Chris is going to toss those back in. Slot in our trunk and hard drives. And I have the screws right here.
Okay.
And then we're going to stand the case back up, run some cabling, get this all kind of, actually we can run some cabling here because we already pre-ran some, which is awesome. So I'll actually pre-run some of the, or kind of do some of the cabling while we're sitting here. I say that as I then lie, because there are better holes to route that out of. So, cam 1, bam. Now you guys see the back of this. We're going to go ahead and have a seat back down again. Oh. And I'm going to push all these cables back out. We're going to kind of split set here.
Okay.
Could I have the HD audio, the usual
Yeah.
kind of place?
Yeah.
USB 3 is up here, which is weird.
I'm gonna.
So, yeah.
Doing some.
So we don't really have a good way to show this, which is because we kind of need to pass it through the case. There's no really good way to do
Sorry.
it. Yeah. The only other way we can think of is having someone up here and then someone back here, and we rotate the case so you guys can see it, so you guys can see this side of it. But,
Come through.
yep. Awesome. And this is just the basic kind of cables, so HD audio, making sure that the headphone jacks and things like that work on the front of the case. Your USB 3.0 header, making sure that when you actually plug something in, it plugs into the motherboard, rather than, not plugging into anything. And, USB hub, USBs, excuse me, not hubs, but USBs. USB 3.0 headers are actually really hard to plug things into.
Where do you want the front panel? Down here?
No, this one actually. Yeah. And then the front panel are a bunch of these little connectors that I always get wrong. And then have a slight panic attack when you click the on button and it doesn't turn on. But I'm actually going to attempt to read this correctly. Last time I didn't, and I was trying to jump the wrong headers. And fun fact, if you're ever building a computer and you need to rough test it or test it without doing one of these, you can actually, all the power switch does is it just jumps the 2 pins. So you could actually jump that with anything metal, preferably not your finger. I don't actually think, I'm curious now. I don't want to try it here, but we'll get Will to try it. See if you could jump a PC header with your finger, turn a computer on with your finger. I know you can't do it with a You could do it with a screwdriver. We've done it a few times. We do it when we're water cooling, things like that, just so we don't have to worry about a bunch of cables and junk to plug in. You can pull those. There we go. And we actually do not have a light that faces this direction really nicely. So, do you have any more slack on this cable, by any chance?
Nope. We can get an extender.
Yeah, we may need to, because I don't really have a space for it. I don't have space for this one either.
Okay. Oh, that would have been where this would have.
Yep.
Could have powered that. We can.
No,
No.
we'll plug it in. The case has built-in
Okay.
fan controller and fan hub, I guess you would call it. We always have a multitude of fan hubs that we could install on our own if we wanted to.
So
This being one of them.
CPU.
But I don't think we're actually going to need it. We may, actually, now that I think about it.
Is this the rear fan?
Yeah.
All right. Get that.
I'm actually going to unplug it, because
Okay.
it's cool, you can. That's a feature. And we'll see if I can't route it nicely through. Here.
Been a pretty quiet stream.
Yeah, it's kind of Monday is a weird time.
Yeah.
This is not our typical stream. Kind of like we've been saying.
No.
You want to pass me the CPU power while I'm up here?
Okay.
There should be one more.
That was a double-ended. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're
there.
8 and a 4.
Can I just give you the 1-4?
No. Actually, I would love if you could pass me the whole thing.
Okay.
Appreciate it. We actually have a lot of space up here.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
Well, considering it's their top-line case,
Yeah.
it better.
It better. Understandable.
We hit the 1 hour mark.
Pardon?
We now hit the 1 hour mark.
Solid. Do you think we need a fan hub?
Well, we
Because-
have 2 fans up front and one, this bottom fan and the top fans, and then
Yeah, I do not have enough fan ports for that.
what if we just
I only have one extra fan hub, one extra fan port.
on the board?
Yeah.
I thought I had like 4 fan headers.
I have one here.
Which
I have one for CPU optional. And that's it. I've already used the rear one.
So these 2 top fans, so the top, the front, and this bottom fan all have to go into something.
Yeah, we'll just drop in a fan hub.
I thought that the DeSignare had like.
Doesn't
More
seem
than-
like it.
Well, then we can put in a fan hub.
Yeah. Which we keep on stock for this reason. Because in the middle of a build, you need fan hubs. So I'm going to go over to our fan hub box noises. We're also gonna need some fan splitters, I think. Or not fan splitters, extenders, I mean. RGBs, PCIe brackets. And we have fan hubs.
I say this looks pretty cool.
What's up?
SAS cable.
Oh yeah, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they do, in like Linus's petabyte rack, where he has like all the drives. Although those drives go on, they just drop onto a backplane that already has these connections there.
Mm-hmm.
That there aren't any cables, but normally this is what you would use, and some RAID cards have 4, 6, and 8 SAS port.
Can you get me? Do you have zip ties over there? Or do I have them over here?
I believe you have them.
I may have set this on top of
I
that.
have like 5.
I need one right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Get it back.
Actually, can do a little trick that I learned, which is actually super cool. Go.
Average watch time, 20 minutes.
Solid. We now have a little fan hub plugged on in. We gotta run it through some power though. Power would help.
And then that's controlled by the motherboard.
Yep. So I'll plug that in.
Okay.
This needs to hit one of these though, so I'll let you do that when you cable man it.
Okay.
But then this just needs to hit right there. So we have 2, 1, 2, and then that one will be for the third.
Okay.
If that works for you.
You wanna get the other SAS cable?
Pardon? Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
give me 1 sec.
Alright.
Figured I'd actually attempt to plug this in. There we go. And I'll get the other SAS cable.
I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm gonna sit back down. Chris starts cable managing. And if you guys are just joining us, welcome to the technical savvy, not really, slight issue of a Monday morning live stream. I mean, it is the definition of it's Monday.
Monday evening.
Monday evening, excuse me. I said morning. It is the definition of Monday morning. So,
Oh, this morning was a Monday morning.
oh,
Ooh.
trust me, I know. So this is BellaVerde. Obviously this is not really our typical time, but it's kind of put on a slight bit of a rush, yeah. Because as you guys have probably noticed, many of our computers are starting to kind of get away from gaming computers and starting to go more towards content creating and industry and enterprise level machines, which is really awesome for what we're targeting right now. But
They generally need them pretty quick.
yeah, that means downtime is bad, and
They don't like to wait.
no, they do not. So I am actually going to let me install the CPU cooler real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to lay that back down just because I don't think we could. I mean, I could try to install it vertically, but it would be kind of challenging.
Okay.
Do you think I could lay it down and it'd be all right, or?
Well, let me undo some of the cables first.
Because I mean, I can try to do it vertically, but it'd be
Just-
slightly challenging.
Just pass this cable back through. Should be good.
Where's my Be Quiet screwdriver? There it is. Always enjoy the Be Quiet screwdriver.
Okay.
Alright.
Ready when you are.
Nice. Oh,
Alright, cool.
alright, and this will be quick. I don't know, I don't think you saw this on the last one, so the Be Quiet, I'm going to switch this over. Kim too. So there's a little protective thing on the bottom, so I'm not actually grabbing it there, but the little screw holes are actually protected by these little nuts that look exactly like the heat pipe tops. I just found that really, really cool. Super awesome. All right. All right, we want the Be Quiet logo facing up. I'm going to peel that off, nice and shiny. And thermal paste. Hopefully there's actually thermal paste in this one, like last week. Generally good size is an uncooked size grain of rice. You'll hear many different things, but that's very generally about what it comes down to, is an uncooked size grain of rice. So with this cooler, what I did this time is I pre-installed the screws. Hopefully you guys can see that on the cooler, on the bracket here, because you need to put the screwdriver through here. Yes, they're magnetic, but they don't
Hold up.
fit through the hole. Got it?
Yep.
There you go. Are we hitting? I did a mess up. Installed these brackets on the wrong side. They're supposed to be flipped
Oh, so
out.
more out. Okay.
That is my bad. It's always a 50-50 shot with these, and there we go.
Whoa.
Hungry?
Hungry.
Am hungry. Whoops.
Hi. I'm hungry.
Negative 10 points for dad jokes. Alright, and then one thing that I forgot to do, which I really should have done, was just to check to see if this actually fits. Oh, look, that's the right way. Alright, so we actually have decent CPU coverage still, so we should be good.
Hold up. There we go.
Perfect. And then still the same applies for this cooler as well, as you want to install one side, then the other, and then kind of bounce back and forth with tensioning it. So you don't end up tensioning one side too much and kind of diving boarding the other. You don't need to crank these down by any means. In many cases, you're not,
It should stop.
yeah. I mean, I always just do them to decently finger tight, because
Mhm.
anything beyond that is just, it's excessive. You know, you're not trying to crank these things down. And then we install the secondary fan.
And I'm glad that we don't just have the front camera.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be blocking the entire
Oh,
kit.
100% you would be. Can you get that cable?
Got it.
There we go. And my little clampy doos. And once Chris finishes that, I'll
Okay.
pop this one on. Yeah, pointy. Perfect. So our CPU cooler,
Did that?
what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, is now installed. We have most of our cables ran, which is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and stand the case back up.
That's a chunk.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's very heavy. We're gonna kind of kick it back to this awkward rotation stage again. We apologize, and Chris is gonna move out of the way of camera 1, as we now kick it back to camera 1. Welcome again. So I'm going to now install our RAID card and our GPU while Chris finishes cable management, and we are good to go.
You want to do the video card first?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I'm going to install our video card. And our RAID card. Oops, I put out the wrong bracket. 1, 2, I. It's honestly been a while since I've had to install a PCIe bracket back into the case.
Yeah.
Solid. I'm gonna reach around you, grab a knife real quick so we can unbox our 2080 Ti. Almost a 1080 Ti. It's really uneventful because it kind of popped more than anything, more than slid. EVGA. Inside of here is actually just a really, really fancy adapter. It's not really that fancy, it's just a, I think it's a display port to DVI-D or something, DVI. But hey, they include it, just in case you need it. And we were right, it's a dual 8-pin. kick this back over to cam, top cam. Yeah, there we go. So let's see if we can't get a decent peel off this. I don't know if we actually will. Because kind of gonna pre-peel the side of it a little bit. All right, let's see. Ooh, that's rough. No. Yeah. Okay.
Watch out. No, I'll just wait.
It's a wonderfully nice and shiny card.
Okay.
This is actually a 3-slot card. Ooh, baby. That's a big card. Wow. I got all these PCIe brackets wrong because normally you skip the first one, and in this instance we don't. It is a big card, so we. Wow, that is a huge graphics card. Was not expecting that to be a 3-card slot. Or a 3-slot card. Excuse me. I misspoke there.
Well, the advantage of it being a bigger card is that you can fit a bigger air cooler on it, which will allow it to run faster and quieter and colder than a smaller air cooler. But you have to have the space for it.
Yes, the space requirement. Why is this being weird? I'm trying to install a RAID card now. Does the RAID card have to be in a 16X slot?
I think so.
Because it has to go into that top one then. It can go into that one.
Like, why can't it get one? Yeah, I would put it in that one.
Okay.
Because that one's going to be too close.
Yeah. No, that's why I was like, eh.
Yeah.
I got it, Chris.
Okay. Trying to do upside down sideways cable management.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we kept these fan hubs.
Oh yeah. I knew we were gonna need them. I mean, like that and the USB hubs. We ordered a bunch of USB hubs.
Yeah, we haven't used them since.
No, but they're good to have.
Good to have, and those were pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, for example, a lot of the RGB softwares and things will use those kind of cards.
Okay. Alright. I'll wait.
There we go. Solid. So, give me one quick sec. Hold on. RAID card is installed. Does it matter which one plugs in first? I assume the top one? Or does it really matter?
The top cable, well, no, it probably doesn't. I haven't powered these up yet, so I hope they don't chatter.
Yeah?
Otherwise, stream's about to get real loud.
Yeah?
And dead card. Dead drive.
There we go. Alright, you can pull those through.
Alright, well,
When you get a second.
give me a sec.
Oh. There we go. Solid.
Let me turn this around. A little bit.
actually gonna jump up front.
I'm gonna change it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oops. My bad. I forgot to change back to that cam. I know I am jumping in front. Can you route this up through there real quick? Yeah. Hello. So I forgot to plug in our graphics card when I was over there. Which would help.
No, you can just air power it. It's fine.
Be careful what you say, because you're about to get sued by Apple. Air power. Coming fall
Oh my
of
gosh.
2021.
What a what a joke.
Alright, there we go.
All right. What? Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get that slack out of there. There you go. Solid. So I'm gonna go check on the stream actually.
Yeah. I gotta get this nice and clean. Oh man. I'm still back here.
Chris is still over there.
I have a big mess to work on.
Hey, someone dropped a like on this.
Yay!
We got our first like on a video.
First like, whoop whoop.
Just while Chris is finishing that up, then we are actually ready for a test
It's
boot.
gonna be a hot second.
Just test boot it.
Yeah, I can finish these.
Alright, so we're actually going to run a quick test boot, make sure that it actually boots up and works, and then we're probably just going to do the rest of the cable management kind of off stream. It's a little bit of a boring. Oh yeah, 24 pin would be exceptionally helpful, wouldn't it? It's fine.
I wouldn't have gotten very far.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to jump in front of it. Sorry.
We've been like, why is it not powering
Why
up?
is this not working? I was like, man, there's something missing from up here. That would be the glorious 24 pin. And hey, I'm going to make sure I actually plug it in all the way this time, unlike last week. That was rough. There we go. And going to grab our power cable that was down here. Ah, there we go. Alright. There we go. So I'm going to jump back over there. Chris, you want to flip the switch? You got right there. Awesome. And power
See the
button.
light.
3, 2. We have lights. Solid. There we go.
Man,
How's it look?
that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the blue. The blue is
That's
awesome.
a large video card.
It is a big video card. There we go. Awesome. So guys, we just wanted to kind of take a moment and say thank you for watching if you guys are watching, and if you're watching in the future. We hope to kind of see you on the next stream, which is coming up. Follow us on Facebook if you want to get notifications and get the event link for those. It'll kind of take you directly to our YouTube page, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It sends you like an email. It gives you kind of alert when we're about to go live and all that jazz. We are trying to go live on Fridays around 6:30. There's a big trying. We're not going to do it this week because this is kind of the substitute build for that. But in the future, that's what we're going to try to do, and that's what we've been trying to do. We now have, which is awesome, an audio setup, which is hopefully sounding pretty good. We have top cam, which is up here. So what we're really looking for now is we're really looking to try to partner with some animators and designers and things to that effect, and some content creators for specifically like music and such, because we kind of need to step up our music game and kind of getting some background
Transition.
and yeah, transitions and things like that. and we're trying to get like an intro sequence. So if you guys are interested in that, kind of hit us up and let's start a conversation. Let's see where that goes. So this has been BellaVerde, which has been a DaVinci Resolve system. This is designed around an i9-9900K and a 2080 Ti. We threw that in a Gigabyte DeSignare motherboard with 64 gigs of RAM.
Yes.
64 gigs of Corsair Vengeance LPX white. We also switched out the majority of all of the fans on this case with the Noctua Chroma series, which are running full blast right now, and you guys may be able to like barely hear them. I actually don't know. Oh, did I not switch off? I didn't switch off top cam.
Yeah, I was.
Thanks for telling me that, Chris. I was, monologuing, doing all the hand motions, all that jazz, and all they're seeing is top cam. Well, we need to work on that too. That's something we'll definitely work on in the future. So again, we just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. If you're commenting in the future, please don't get discouraged. The turnaround time may be a little bit longer. We'll still respond to comments. We still respond to comments on all of our videos and things to that effect. If you want to see the finished build, not really build log, this was the build log. If you want to see the finished build, follow us on Facebook at Top Flight PC. That is where Chris, once we finish all of the cable management things, he'll take some pictures and throw them up on the website, as well as the Facebook group, the Facebook. If you wanted to see some of our past builds and things to that effect, please feel free to jump on over to our website, topflightpc.com. I nailed that, right?
Yes.
Awesome. And you can go to the Build Gallery tab in the upper right. There, because it's mirrored, I think. Yeah, upper right-hand corner, and go to the Build Gallery, and you gotta sort by year. You can kind of see the progression of our, really the business of going from kind of gaming computers and working our way up to workstations and some very high-end custom computers like Industrial Strength Awesome, which has been really one of our Halo projects, is really what you'd call it. So if you want to go check that out, feel free. And if you guys just want to kind of have a chat and talk about some interesting things, we have a Facebook group, which is, I kind of jumped the gun on that one, spoiled that surprise. If you want to join that group, it is go to our Facebook page in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, if you're on computer at least. Click the Groups tab, and then at the top-ish middle area, you should see the Top Flight crew. Request an invite to that. We'll be accepting those. That is about 1,000-ish, 1,100 now, I think, pushing. Tech-minded individuals that just like to meme and talk about some interesting tech, really, and kind of anything goes. It's also a very nice place to kind of voice opinions and things and not really get belittled by, Redditors and things like that. So if you guys are interested in that, head on over there. But we hope to see you next time on the next stream with Top Cam and audio. So we're going to head on out for tonight. We hope to see you next time. Thank you.